is 5.1. No, both of them are the same.
We already done those.
Oh, we did those? Okay, we'll go to the next one then. The next one is 5.3, got 13 and 15. So 5.3, 13. So we'll click on that one. Okay, this is one I think you sent. Okay, this is a test question.
Who's you?
Who's you?
She said this.
This one.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the one that.
That's the one I helped you with in the lobby. Okay, so 0.625. First thing you do is you look and see what place value. 0.625. This is the what? This is the tenths. This is the hundredths. This is the what? Thousand. So you take this number and put it over 1,000. And now you have a fraction that you can what? Reduce. Now the first thing I'm going to reduce it by is 5. Why? Because it ends in 5. So I'm going to divide by 5.
Or put over 100 or 1,000?
Sorry. 1,000. Okay, so that'll be 125 over, how many times will 5 go into 1,000? 200. Now, how many quarters are in $1.25? 5. And how many quarters are in 200? $2. 8. So 5/8 is your answer.
I swear I'm not stupid.
That's all right. It happens.
Just having a
Sometimes it
one
comes
moment.
out. Sometimes it comes out wrong. Okay, so that's a good question that you sent. Let's type it in, 5/8. 5 divided by 8. That's your answer.
That's actually is that right?
Number 13. That's why I love Ask My Instructor, because y'all can see these questions all the time. If I don't get them, that means y'all understand it. So this is 5.3, number 53 in the book, number 15 online. I thought I turned that off. Sorry.
It's real creepy.
Those commercials are stupid. They're annoying. You know, some commercials are cheesy and funny. Those commercials are annoying. And that stupid emu running around. Oh, gosh. I turn it. Every time it comes on, I turn it. I'll shut up. I'm all right. 15. Let's click on that one. And that is a test question also. Now, what they're wanting you to do here is they're wanting you to find the fraction that represents the repeating decimal. So 5.4.54, and the 5.4 is repeating. So when you see this, the thing you should say to yourself is, I want to cancel the repeating
You can't. You have to be able to find the same question.
numbers.
Oh, yes.
Okay? That's the first thing that you want to do. You want to cancel the repeating numbers. So, the first thing you do is you set this equal to X. That's number 1. You set it equal to X, or Y, or W, or Q, or T, or whatever you want to set it to. The two most used letters are N and X. I use X. Okay? Second thing you do is multiply by place value. What place value is represented right there? The hundredth. So I'm going to multiply this by 100. Okay, when I do that, and I'm going to highlight this, we're going to do another one of these because this is something you don't see all the time, okay? I'm going to multiply by the place value here, and that's going to multiply by 100. What if this was a 3 right here, and you had tens, hundred, thousands? What would you multiply by? 1,000. But since it's a hundredths place, you're going to multiply by 100, and that's going to give us 100x is equal to 454.54 repeating. So we just did number 2. First thing you do is you set it equal to a variable. The second thing you do is you count the number of decimal places and you multiply by that number. So this was the hundredths place. So I multiply the whole thing by what? 100. Now, number 3. Subtract. So I got 100x is equal to 454.54, and I'm going to subtract my original 1x is equal to 4.54, and somebody tell me what's going to happen with my repeating decimals.
It's going to cancel out.
They're going to cancel out, and that's what you wanted to do. So, I'm going to take this. I haven't had training. This is something I learned on my own. There we go. And now I get 99x. Is it always going to come out to be 99x or 999x? Yes. It's always going to be 99 or 99.9 or 99,999. It's always going to be one off of what that is equal to 454. And now you do not have a repeating decimal, and now you just solve for x. 4, solve for x. Or solve for the variable. So in this case, x is equal to 454 over what? 99. And you can reduce that if possible. I don't think, the only thing that will go into 99 is what? 9 and 11. So you got to see if 9 or 11 will go into 454. So 9 won't go into 454. 11 won't go into 454. So you're done. Now we're going to do another one of these because you need to know how to do it for the homework.
Hey, I got a question for you, because I put that in before I put that first answer, that answer you just erased in, and it told me it was wrong.
Well, then it is reducible. It's reducible by...
But the only variables for it would be 1, 2, 277, and 454.
Yeah, I don't...
That's my question. Would it be 45 because you'd minus the 4 from the 4 on the bottom?
Oh, well, I guess I just lost it. 454 minus 4 is not 454. Thank you, Miss Woodward. I screwed
I
up.
see that now. Oh,
I drank too much today.
me too.
What's 454 minus 4? 450, Hubert. There you go. Now we can reduce it. Or we're going to try to reduce it. Yeah. Now we can divide by 9 because 45 is divisible by 9. So I'm going to divide by 9 on the top, 9 on the bottom, and that's going to give me 11 on the bottom, and 9 will go into 450 50 times. So your answer is 50 over 11 if you can do simple arithmetic, which I did not do right. So y'all can just fire me.
I'm still gonna go home.
Yeah, let's just go home and quit because the teacher can't do anything. Thank you, Miss Woodward. All right, let's do a nerd. I'm going to hit a similar question, and I'm going to leave that up here, but here is the question. 2.63. I'm going to write it at the top, and I want you to try it using your notes. 2.63 repeating, and you will multiply by 100. And then I will do it. I'll erase the board and I'll redo it. Now, will you ever use this? No. Because nobody is ever going to say, okay, the repeating decimal is 2.141414. We really need to find the fraction that gives us that. Nobody ever asks that. Okay? This is just one of those standardized test questions that you might see on a nursing entry test or an employee entry test or some kind of exam, placement test or something. The vodka goes down to the bottom. I have to shake it up.
Are you still on
5.3 right there, yep.
Can you go?
Send it to me. You know I'm going to say send it to me. I'm not going to go looking for questions, okay? You send it to me and we'll go over it. I know, I'm a typical guy. I can't chew bubble gum and talk at the same time. So when I multiply by 100, I'm going to get 100x is equal to what? 263.63 repeating, and then I'm going to subtract them. This time, I'm not going to put what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it and show you how it shouldn't take you too many steps. Because right now, you've got the steps right here. You can pause the video and write down the steps, and they're there. Okay? I'm going to just do it now. So I'm going to take my handy dandy 2 points. I'm going to say x is equal to 2.63 repeating. Now, if I multiply that by 100, what am I going to get? I'm going to get 100x is equal to 263.63 what? Repeating. And draw my line and put a subtraction symbol. And what happens to the repeating? It cancels. And now you have 99x. And please don't be like your teacher and forget to subtract this. Is equal to 260 what? 1. And now divide by 99. And divide by 99. And I don't know. 9 and 11. Nope. 9 times 2 is... 9 times 2 is what? 18? Okay, 9 will go into both of them. Divide by 9 over 9, and that's equal to 11. 9 will go into 26 2 times. That's 18. 18 from 26 is 8. 81. I got 29 over 11. Now what is that? Well, take your calculator and divide 29 by 11. What happens when you take your calculator and you divide 29 by 11? You get 2.63 repeating. So let's go back to our handy dandy cursor and type in 29 divided by 11. Okay? So those are 2 good problems. So you got 2 good problems to go by. Knock yourself out. Look at there. Miss Hughes done said 2 more questions. Good for you. Well,
What about question number 18?
Say again?
Question number 18.
Send it to me. Have somebody up there with a laptop send it to me. Or somebody send me question number 18. Okay, here we go. Let's do this one. Let's see, that is 23. 23. There's number 18. So we'll do number 18. Oh, I didn't see you had a laptop in front of you, Miss Woodward. I'm sorry. I thought that was a book battle. I know. I'm going to a meeting every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. All right, 5.3. There we go. My son and I go. He's got to go too. He's getting real bad. He's in 7th grade. He's drinking a lot, too much. All right. So let's go ahead and DSS says he's drinking too much. Let's go ahead and I'm going to rewrite this because this says negative 3/5. And is this a test question? Hail to the yeah. And I usually don't, but when I have a Medea moment, I really emphasize that. And yes, this is you'll see at least 10 or 15 of these on the test. No, I'm just kidding. But you will see a lot of these. Okay? Parentheses, 7/9, parentheses, and I'm going to put that in brackets. But do we divide by fractions? No. We multiply by the what? So I'm going to multiply by negative 20 over what? 17. Now I'm going to highlight this because I want you to make sure you take it in your notes that I flipped this and multiplied before we even started the problem. Now, what's the deal with brackets? You always want to do what's in the brackets first, right? So we're going to deal with this first. So I'm going to use my magenta or my aqua, and we're going to tackle this first. Now, when we get into Unit 2, you're going to have multi-step problems, okay? Whenever you have multi-step problems, you have to be very methodical. You have to do step by step. Even if you think you're a water walker, you better do step by step. So, let's go ahead and do that first part. Now that's multiplication. Multiplication means, unlike terms, what's the answer going to be, positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. It's unlike. And now, we just do cancel. Here, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to use my red. I don't use red very much. I'm going to cancel that 3 with that. And I get 7 over 15. Now, whether you do canceling or whether you do, you're going to get 7 over 15. Y'all check me. Somebody should have got that. What's 3 times 7? 21. 21 over 45. Yes, 3 will go into both, so that's 7. So either way you do it, you're going to get 7 over 15. Multiplied by what? Negative 20 over 17. So what's the answer going to be? Positive or negative? positive because you got like signs. Now I put that positive there because of instructional purposes. You do not have to put that there because you understand that it's a positive. I'm just putting it there. Can I cancel anything?
15.
Yes. The 15 and the 20, you're right. So I'm going to 5 will go into 15 3 times. 5 will go into 20 4 times. I'm not worried about these anymore because I've already said that the answer is going to be positive. So what's 7 times 4?
28.
28. And what is 3 times 7? 51?
21.
Now why am I not worried about reducing it? What number is prime?
It's 2 plus 1 is wait, hold on. So
Okay, y'all got questions asked.
and then you get it 3 times 1.
Who's got a question? Okay, nobody has a question? 7 times 4. Now, could you have done 7 times 20 over 15 times 17? Yes, but you have to rely on a calculator because only Rain Man knows what 15 times 17 is. 15 times 15 is 225. So 255. I multiply 15 times 17 and tell me it was 255. So that would be 140 over 255, and then what would you have to do? You'd have to reduce it. And then you still get the same answer. So could you have done this 2 or 3 different ways? Yes. Would you get the same answer? Yes. All right, let's do a narrative. The reason we're doing another one is because this is a test question. So I'll rewrite it because I don't like writing all that stuff up there. They have a lot of stuff that you don't need. That division, there is no such thing as division by fraction. So you go ahead and change that from the get-go. Negative 2/3 times 7/8. And I'm going to put that in brackets. Multiplied by, I'm going to use that multiplication symbol. And 16 over what? 11. And I'm going to highlight that again. Now, if I highlight it, do you think y'all might need to highlight it in y'all's notes? Yes. Okay, because I'm changing that division symbol into a multiplication symbol, and I'm changing that negative 11/16. I'm turning it upside down and multiplying by the reciprocal. All right, I want y'all to do it. I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes to do it. Because I do wonder why y'all are using the calculators, because you don't need to be using the calculators. Why? Because that 2 and that 8, y'all can cancel them out. So 2 and 8, 3 times 4, and that'll give you 3 times 4 is 12. 12 and 16 is cancelable. So I don't understand why you're using the calculators. I see a couple of people. So what's a positive times a negative? So this answer is going to come negative. And the 2, let's use our red marker. The 2 will cancel with the 2 1 time and cancel there 4 times. So what's 1 times 7?
7.
And what's 3 times 4? Multiplied by negative 16 over 11. Now I want you to cancel. You know the answer is going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
No.
No, positive.
Negative times negative is a positive. So you can mark that out because you don't need that anymore. That goes out with that. And now I want you to cancel that 12 with that 16 because they're both even. So what number will go into 12 and 16? 2. 4. Good. That'll be 3, and that'll be what? 4. Now what's 7 times 4?
28.
28. And what's 3 times 11?
33.
And you are done.
What number was it? Can't see.
163.
Question. 28 divided by 33. So, Miss Woodward, those are 2 good questions, or good question you sent. This is 5.3, number 14. Ma'am?
When you look at that,
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of you. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so as soon as I pull it up, we all make fun of Miss Cowan. Oh yeah, this is a test question. Yep, you might as well quit. Why? Because there's too much to do. Yep.
Susie.
What's so funny?
I was thinking the same thing.
Exactly. See, I don't forget my student roots. So when I was a student, I wouldn't even do this problem. I would go over this problem, I would skip it, and wait till when? The end of class. Or when I finished the rest of the problems I knew how to do, I would come back and look at this one, and I probably would have gave up on it. So,
What number
negative,
is that?
bracket, negative 44 minus 5 minus 10, quantity squared, bracket, over, bracket, 40 divided by 8, plus 3, bracket, squared, minus 82 over 2. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is, do not skip steps on this problem. Do not skip steps. Because the ones that miss this, there's 3 types of problems, there's three types of students on this problem. 1, they quit. 2, they try to muddle through it the best way they can. And then the third one is the guy. It's usually a guy. I'm sorry. I don't have many guys. I have one guy. I thought I had a guy up there.
He's not here today.
It's usually the guys that think they can do it like in 2 seconds or 2 steps, and they end up getting it wrong. Okay? So, do not skip steps. And we're going to work our way inside what? Inside out. So, the first thing you're going to do is attack the 5 minus 10. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. And yes, I'm going to rewrite them every time. That's the part that students can't stand. You got to rewrite it. You want it right. Okay? So negative 44. Somebody done send another one. Good. I like that. Minus. What's 5 minus 10?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Quantity squared. Close bracket. And if you want to work on this one down here, you can work on it. So we're going to work on the parentheses first. What's 40 divided by 8? 5. Thank you, class. Plus 3. Quantity squared. Minus, and you can do this one too. What is 82 divided by 2? 41, y'all should be able to do that in your head. 2 will go into 8 4 times. 2 will go into 2 1 time. Y'all should be able to do that. Okay. So let's take this and move it up. Okay? Now, what are we going to focus on at the top now? Somebody tell me what we're going to focus on. The negative 5 squared. Anytime you square a negative and a number, what's the answer going to come out to be? A positive. Anytime, and let's take the handy dandy highlighter, and we're going to put a little highlight there and a highlight there. Anytime you have the negative inside a parenthesis and you're squaring it or raising it to the 4th power or the 6th power or the 8th power, your answer is going to be positive. So, negative 44 minus, and I'm going to put 25 in parentheses to show you that we just made that negative 5 squared into a positive 25, over, what's 5 plus 3?
8.
8 squared minus 41. So somebody tell me what we're doing as we go down. We're whittling away at the steps. Does anybody see me trying to do 3 steps in 1 step? No, that's not how you do these problems. And if you come to me 10 years from now and say, Hubert, I got this problem my son's trying to do, will you do it? Am I going to scatter through it like somebody that's in a hurry? No, I'm going to do it exactly like this. And I've got several degrees. So unless you got more degrees than I've got, you need to be doing it the same way. Okay? So, you have, or you owe $44. You owe $25. What's the outcome of owing $44 and owing $25?
69.
You owe what? $69. And what's 8 squared?
64.
Now what's outside this bracket? A negative 1, right? What's negative 1 times negative 69?
Positive 69.
And what is 64 minus 41? I go 23. And 23 is a prime number. So unless 23 will go in the numerator, chances are that's your answer. Wait a minute.
23 will go
3.
into.
The answer is 3. Is 3 times 23 69? Yes, Hubert. No, Hubert. We don't want to answer you because we don't like you, Hubert. Miss Cowens, this is a very good problem. You better be glad you sent it because you're going to see it again.
Gonna learn today.
Huh?
So we're gonna learn today.
We're going to do something, ain't we?
I'm gonna try.
I tell you what, it's a good concept. Y'all send questions and I what? Golly, what a concept. You know what? I ought to start making y'all do that. That's what I'll start doing. I'll start putting it on a handout and start telling y'all to do that. I still got, well, the last class, y'all weren't in the last class. The last class was the 120. They sent me a question yesterday. Well, I didn't know if you wanted us to send you questions. Nope. I just want you to be quiet the whole semester and never ask me a question. Let's do a nerd. Let's do that. I'll write it on the board because I know somebody's going to say, I can't say. The Southern Baptist of the classes. Why I say that? Because the Southern Baptists always sit on a what? Back row. It's closest to the ABC store. I'm sorry. I'm a Southern Baptist. You know the difference between a Southern Baptist and a Methodist?
Drink references again.
Anybody know the difference between a Southern Baptist and a Methodist? The Methodist talks to the cashier at the liquor store. All right. What time is it? I'll make sure we can finish this in time, can't we? What time's class over? 11:05 or 11? What?
12:10.
Is it 12?
It's 12:10.
12:10, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got negative. I don't believe the first answer I hear, so you can forget that. 55 minus parentheses 5 minus 10 squared over 45 divided by 9 plus 4 bracket squared minus 82 over 2. Make sure I got all the brackets in the right places. I think I do. Now, I'm going to let y'all do this one because I have confidence in y'all.
That's where you went, right?
What?
That's it.
Actually, the Southern Baptists sit on the back row because fried chicken, they get the fried chicken. I was raised in one of the oldest Southern Baptist churches in the Southeast. Mountain Creek, organized in 1789. Before you get baptized, you got to know that. Anyway, every day we would eat fried chicken at my grandmother's house.
Fried chicken for the win.
Fried chicken and macaroni pie. She'd make macaroni pie with spaghetti noodles. And it would be orange and black.
Ew.
Cheese. Now, have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried it? Okay, well, you're weird, okay? It would be orange and black. It would be orange with cheese and black with pepper.
Ooh.
And it was good. And I still make it today. But no, I don't make it anymore. My son, I make it for my children, but I don't eat it anymore.
You should make it and
The
bring
cholesterol and the carbs, pretty bad. So,
There's yellow.
but it is, it's good. And I would fill up on fried chicken and macaroni pie. They'd have some vegetables, but I wouldn't eat those.
Of course not.
Yep. Yeah, the church I grew up in was so old, it still had the stick that you used to pop people on the back of the head with when they fell asleep. It still had it in the corner. It looked like a big fishing pole. A long fishing pole. And my grandfather sat on one side of the church. My grandmother sat on the other side because that's where the women sit. That's where the men sat. Now that's an old church. So on 29 South, the third, down there,
Called what?
it's called Mountain Creek
Mountain Creek Church.
Baptist Church.
Is that on?
This is the third one. The first one burnt down. It was a log cabin, and it burnt down after after one of the wars. I don't know which one. And then the second one was a brick, and it burnt down about 10 years ago. And then this is the third one.
Over there on High Road, it's called Mountain Creek Church.
That's it.
It is?
Yep.
That's where you go?
You must live down toward Star.
Yeah, like I live in Anderson, but
Yeah.
I live on Hall Road right there.
Okay, I know where it's at. Yep, that's it. That church has been there since 1789. And like I say, we belong to a church that old, you got to learn the history before you get baptized. That's what we used to kid each other about.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so here we go. First thing, somebody tell me where you focus on the first one. Right here. You're going to focus on this one, and you can, if you want to, go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go. negative brackets, negative 55, minus parentheses, squared, bracket. 5 minus 10 is negative 5. Over 45 divided by 9 is what? 5. Oops. Yeah, there we go. I need to take that off. That parenthesis don't belong there. 5 plus 4, quantity squared. No yawning in class. 82 divided by 2 is 41. All right, y'all check my math and go to the next step. Whereabouts you live, Miss Callens?
Homeland Park.
Untitled Chapter. You ever heard of Genesee Baptist Church?
I
Okay.
think I've done that a couple times.
That church is an old church too. In fact, they started when wood. It was a wooden church, and then it was a little steeple church, and they knocked it down. I did the survey for it back a long time ago. I know all them people down there. I went to school with several of them. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I know where Hall Road is.
You've been down it?
Yes.
I live in the White House with white fence around it.
Oh, okay.
You said what? Yeah, I know you're talking about cutting.
Yeah, I used to ride the bus.
You went to Crescent too?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you go?
She did too, yeah.
Oh, okay. Where you live? Ivor.
Oh, I didn't go to school. I live on Emmett Road from North Carolina. You went to where? I went to school in North Carolina.
All right, so let's do this. So somebody tell me where we focus on now.
The negative 5 squared.
You're going to focus on this, and I'm going to do the highlight. I'm going to highlight the exponent and this. That's where you're going to focus on now. So I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to get negative brackets, negative 55 minus, and what is negative 5 quantity squared? 25. So that negative 5 squared turns into a positive 25 in the bracket, in the parentheses. And then 5 plus 4 is 9, and what is 9 squared? 81 minus 41. That's easy. 81 minus 41 is what? 40. Okay, let's focus on the top. Well, I'm going to rewrite it as negative brackets, negative 55, and what's negative 55 minus 25. I got rid of the parentheses. I distributed that negative 1 to that 25. Now, if you owe $55 and you owe $25, what do you owe? $80, Hubert. That's right, class. And then what's negative 1 times negative 80? 80 divided by 40, and this is a trick I learned in the war. What's 8 divided by 4?
4 or 2.
2. See, math is not hard. But what happens is people are not taught, or people refuse to listen. And that's where the problems start. And then you're just it's like shooting in a barrel full of fish. I mean, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know which laws to do, but if you do it step by step, methodically, each time, just like playing a piano, you don't just get on there and start banging keys. You got to do certain ways, you got to hold certain notes, you got to move your fingers certain ways. And the only way to get good at it is to practice, which is a lot of hard work.
Can I send you one more question? It's not like a world standard time zone chart.
Let's see.
You just.
Well, I've got to hurry because some of y'all will go into convulsions here in a few minutes. So let's see. Okay, that was that one I just did, right? So I'm going to delete these. Delete, 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 delete. Okay. This is number 23. Let's 5-2. This is number 16. And she is, she's just mad. Okay, part of a world standard time zone chart used by airlines, blah, 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 blah. The scale along the bottom is just like number line with integers -12, -11. Now what they're saying is, if you've got a standard time zone, and the standard time zone goes through Greenwich, England, or goes through Greenland, then that's 0. Everybody with me? And what would be to the right of 0? 1, 2, 3. And what would be to the left? Okay. Time zones are basically like that. Everybody with me? Okay? Because the world, and then it wraps back around till you get to the other 0, which is this guy going around the North Pole and going around the other side. So, you have negatives and positives, and that's what they're saying right here. You got 0 somewhere in the middle. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the right. -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the left. That's what they're saying. Find the difference between the time zone, Munich, at +1, and Boston at negative what? How many jumps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can say, what? 1 minus a negative what? And what happens? And you get 6.
I'm looking at the darn chart like, okay, so this.
Don't look at the chart. Just use common sense, the number line. All right, go up here. -5. All right, here's 0. -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is negative what? It says -8, -6, 7, 8, -8. Okay, what is the difference between, I says, find the difference in time between -5 and what? -8. So it's going to be what? 3 spaces. And of course that would be -5 minus a negative what? 8. And what happens? No sneezing in class. -5 plus 8 is 3. But that is not a test question, because what does that question do before you even start? It confuses you. I don't do those. What's the KISS method? I keep your questions simple. I do not try to trick you. Okay? All right, so that's it. Before some of y'all go into convulsions, we'll go ahead and quit for today. We still got 3 questions to go over in 5.3. So we wasn't able to get to scientific notation today. That's fine. I'd rather go over your questions. But after Monday or Tuesday, we'll probably go into 5.6 because y'all probably have gone over questions and start sending them. I'm fixing to right now, if you'll let me.